Thank you guys for talking with me today. I really appreciate it. I'm just gonna get started. So, Gwen, how much time, where do we pick up in the premiere? How much time has passed since the finale? And like, where do we find the unit?
It is a month later. So, yeah, we've had about 4 weeks, and we find out pretty quickly that sort of the best case scenario that we were hoping for at the end of last season did not happen. So, we're not magically back together. The problems have not all gone away. We are instead scattered, and everyone in the unit is working a different job or not working at all. And Voight's got to find a way to get them back together.
Yeah, Jason, where is Voight's headspace in this moment? Especially given how last season ended. Like, where is his headspace at this moment?
Focused, and also, having to tamp down frustration and and feeling misunderstood, uh, all these kind of personal feelings, but his main focus is what do I have to do in order to get this unit back together? And he will do everything that he has to do. And that doesn't mean he's going to start with a chainsaw, but if he ends up having to use one, he will.
Right. So I'm curious, like, given that the finale ended with Voight kind of reverting back to some of his older ways, do you think that Voight is truly capable of changing, or is he always going to have those old ways instilled in him and that will always be a part of how he does his policing?
I think that those aren't necessarily mutually exclusive. He will, all those things are, it's not like I'm going to get rid of these things. What you have to do is, and how Voight, I think, is evolving, is that he's grafting them onto other things. Their energy and that determination. Uh, he's less violent, but he's not willing to be less effective, and it. I think that will always be part of him. He's learning to uh, be more socially acceptable. Uh, and that's a process. But I think there is since it's part of him, under the right circumstances, including, lack of sleep and whatever the stakes are, uh, you know, I don't I don't think he would hesitate to go medieval. uh, if it was a question of saving Burgess's life, for
Right.
instance, you know.
Right. So we do have a new character, Eva Ammani, joining. I'm just curious, what are you guys most excited for fans to learn about her this season?
Oh gosh, so much. I think I'm excited for people to see the first episode and sort of get to know her slowly through the season. I think there are lots of little kind of Easter eggs or like little things that tell you a bit about who she is planted throughout the first really 8 episodes. And there's some things to her background that make her this really interesting character that's incredibly motivated and incredibly sure of herself. And I think we slowly learn more and more about her. But in that first episode, you definitely get a taste of her personality and sort of her sense of self, and definitely how she polices and a bit of her philosophy for policing, I think, and why she's doing it, which is very similar to Voight's. Mhm.
Yeah, which is fun. And we have a lot of scenes together, which is also fun. And I think it's also interesting that, she's such a, you know, but in real life, she's like a goofy, giggly, fun loving, just, how like some people, it's, you don't see them laugh much. I don't see her not laughing much. you know, and that'll tell you what a good actress she is.
Yeah.
I'm curious because I know somewhere I read that she was like you guys had yes, described her as like a young female version of Voight. And I'm curious for both of you, like, do you think intelligence needs at least one member to be a, I guess, quote unquote, mini Voight for in order for an intelligence to be successful? Or do you think it's better that intelligence is like all different and then like they have characteristics of Voight? I'm just curious. That's something we've talked a lot about on the pod, so I'm just curious.
Oh, cool.
You want to answer or do you want me to?
I'll give my you go. You go.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Okay,
Wait thing.
I've always thought like Voight's mantra is the best thing you can be is you.
Hmm.
And that is always going to be like there was even a scene a long time ago with Halstead, like season
Yeah.
two, where I said, just I don't want seven Voights. You know, everybody, it's a puzzle. I'll do Voight. Okay, I got that covered. You do the Halstead. You do the Lindsay. You do the Alinsky. What we have to do is work together. And
Hmm.
that doesn't mean I'm always right just because I'm the sergeant, you know, but I will fight for my viewpoint. You
Hmm.
should fight for yours, you know? And so there's that. So I find it interesting that we have this unique opportunity now with somebody who is she's not a mini Void, but she has a lot of the
Right.
same
Hmm.
characteristics. So we can mirror each other and hopefully learn a lot about ourselves
Right.
through that, because it's sometimes the hardest thing or the most shocking thing to see is the mirror,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah, and it causes a lot of conflict when there's a few mini voids running around. So it does make a lot of
Yeah,
good story. But yeah, I think you need that balance.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Well,
What if they
that's
played it better than me? I might get fired.
I mean,